welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Pioneer for you from Patreon subscriber Scumrunner. This is Sultai Emerge. This is a tempo deck built around the Emerge mechanic from Eldritch Moon. Emerge reads, you may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the Emerge cost reduced by that creature's mana value. Basically, you eat a creature you already have to make this creature cheaper. In the deck, we've got Elder Deep Fiend, Distended Mindbender, and Wretched Gryff. 7 hits here. Deep Fiend's the best of them. 5/6 with Flash. When you cast a spell, tap up to 4 target permanents. The game here is to flash this out in your opponent's upkeep, tap all their lands, and make it so they can't deal with a 5/6. And ideally, if you have more than one of these in your hand, or something like Sanctum of Ugin, which lets you tutor another one when you cast the first one, you could chain multiple together and just time walk your opponent multiple times, and by the time they get to cast a spell, you have had 10 power in play and bash them a few times. Very sweet. Distended Mindbender checks their hand when you cast it. You can exile a 3 or less cost and a 4 or greater cost card from their hand. And Wretched Gryff, kind of the worst of them, but just filling out the density for Foul Emissary. This one just draws a card when you cast it. Foul Emissary, 3 mana 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in any order. And when you sacrifice Foul Emissary while casting an Emerge spell, make a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi token. This digs for the Eldrazi, then pays you out for casting it. It can also hit Fierce Empath, which tutors the Deep Fiend and then casts it on the following turn. Multiple ways, 7 ways to just curve into a Fiend. Even more if you want to just flash in Brazen Borrower. That's there. 4 Llanowar Elves in the deck. You could be casting this Deep Fiend on your opponent's 3rd turn. Well, if you went first, it's their 2nd turn. You could cast this your turn, 3rd turn, and start time walking them. And the coolest new innovation is Mosswood Dreadknight. A card that got some attention off the Wilds of Eldraine spoiler, and then kind of didn't show up for a while. It's the core of the standard Golgari midrange deck, though. 1 and a green for a 3/2 trample. When it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. And the adventure is 1 and a black, sorcery, draw a card, lose a life. This is the world's cleanest 2-for-1, just on rate. And then if it dies, you get to send it back around and get another 2-for-1 again. And at that point, it's a 2-for-0 because you've already spent the actual card. It's slow and it's honest, hardworking card advantage, but if a game gets grindy, this is going to do it. And that's basically the deck. We are casting value creatures and trying to get gigantic things into play before the opponent can catch up. Let's get into it. This is Pioneer Sultai Emerge. On the draw in round 1, opponent revealed Kahira the Orphan Guard, which makes me excited to have Mosswood Dreadknight in my opening hand. Likely to be a control strategy. Yep, Jwari Disruption. All checks out. I'm a little worried about my mana. If they kill the elf or have a counter spell in hand, my next turn is going to be kind of bad. Yikes. Alright. Bad news, everybody. Now I need a land, but Abrupt Decay does unlock the portable hole. Shit. Yeah, I was pretty in on that. Okay. We'll see how quickly they can apply pressure and if I'm able to dig out of this. Oh, the Gaia Reach Sanitarium. That means they are the Narset build of this. They'll probably counter this if they can, because they know I'm missing land drops. Or if they just have a different removal spell to use. March of Otherworldly Light, perhaps. There are 24 lands in this deck. We are drawing pretty heavy. They didn't march it. They have another portable hole. Perfect. Okay, we're back in business. I could draw a card here, or I could destroy one of the portable holes. I think I'd rather destroy a portable hole and see if I can get some sort of interaction happening in their end step, rather than just casting this premium card in my deck into No More Lies. I'll Abrupt Decay a portable hole in the end step. They can't counter this one. They can counter whatever I cast, though. I'm just going to start fishing. Ooh, interesting. I could double spell here with Elf plus Dreadknight. Has this Lovestruck Beast been in my hand the entire time? I could have had a 1/1 human. I don't think my brain even registered that. It's been a minute. All right, everyone, thanks for sticking through this video. I wouldn't be mad at you if you had left already, based on that. Okay, I'm going to start with Llanowar, and I am going to Dread Whispers. Oh wow, that just resolved. Didn't expect that to happen. All right, and now I've dug out of it so they don't mind using their Sanitarium. Now I can discard Llanowar Elves. I found all 4 of them this game. Castle Ardenvale, that's better than my Llanowar Elves. Okay, I'm going to play a Foul Emissary, and we'll see if they want to fight over this. And if they do, I have another Mossmore Dread Knight I can play. Brazen Borrower versus Elder Deep Fiend. Brazen Borrower is one of my very few answers to a Narset, if they ever stick one of those. And I already have a Deep Fiend, so I will take the Borrower. And I think I want to play creature mode of this Dread Knight to apply pressure to the board, rather than keep drawing cards now that my hand's actually functioning. Wretched Gryff, Mindbender, Lovestruck Beast. I think Wretched Gryff can go. So they discarded a Supreme Verdict. All right, that's not the plan. Or they have multiples. Sunfall. Yeah, this exiles them all. Good call. Double Lovestruck Beast. I can make 2 1/1s here, or I could Fierce Empath. I don't think I want to Empath, though. I think I want to cast 2 Heart's Desires while the getting's good on that. Or I could Heart's Desire and Dread Whispers. I should have Dread Whispers first. There we go. Ended up getting to do all of it. Adventure Squad. I have so many cards on Adventure right now. That's fun. My Adventure theme deck. Okay, they're Sanitariuming on their own main phase. This is interesting because I think Mindbender is the discard, but they don't know about my second Brazen Borrower. I think I'm actually going to dump the Deep Fiend because the Mindbender seems really good in specifically this matchup. And I want the Borrower to deal with the Incubator token, but then I also want the Borrower for their someday Narset. Attack with my creatures. They did not wake up the 4/4. I'm going to Fierce Empath because I can still Heart's Desire even after that if they counter it, which they didn't do. Tassiger is an interesting juke here. Could just replace this Deep Fiend. I'll do that. And Heart's Desire number 3. My 4th adventure creature, with 2 more in my hand. There's a lot of 2-for-1s in this deck. Okay, they found their second blue. It's turn 9. The second Sunfall. Okay. Still be happy to draw a land here. Oh, I ripped the Tassiger. What's up? Oh, Banana Daddy. Yeah, I'm going to play Tassiger and Mosswood Dread Knight. Start to get permanents back on this board. Tassiger also emerges extremely well. I could have emerged the Mindbender right then. I think I want a little more out of it, though. If I draw a land here, and I did, I can Mindbender off of Dread Knight. I think I should Mindbender first. Sacrifice Dread Knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. Let's bend that mind. Good chance we actually hit on both modes here. Memory Deluge in response. Yeah, they don't want that exiled. Cost them both their blue to do that, though. I would like Narset gone out of your hand, and I'll take one of these Wandering Emperors. Okay. Oh, this doesn't exile? Okay. Yeah, I actually remember from Standard it being weird that Distended Mindbender didn't exile, because every other Eldrazi effect ever printed does exile. But this one is just discard, so the Memory Deluge wouldn't have been gone. Also, thanks, Magic Online, for not reminding me what's in the hand. That just didn't show up on visible cards. It's weird. Yeah, Emperor can get rid of Tassiger. Not a big deal. Do I care about the Emperor at 1? I don't think so. I'm going to cast my Dread Whispers from the graveyard. This is the only time I can do this. It's gone after this turn. If I want these cards, got to get them now. Alright, they used to change the equation from hand to deal with that. I do have to respect these 2 4/4 tokens. Because one of them can become 5/5, and I am at 11 life from my own mana. Lovestruck Beast, the 5/5 mode, get in. It can block just fine, even without a 1/1. 4/4 activated. Gonna put a counter on it. Other 4/4 activated. And no attack. Perfect. Time for these Brazen Borrowers to wake up and do their thing. Oh, that's even more messed up. This gets all of them. And I'm pretty sure they had 2 change the equations in hand. All right, I'll start with Allegiance End. Okay. All right, now the hand's revealed. I thought they had 2 of those. I really was counting on Moto to reveal that for me, and it didn't. All right, deduce, get lost, portable hole. Cool. I can't get a 1/1 into play here, so I'll just attack. I think I should kill Wandering Emperor this time. Or they have get lost, so they could get rid of whatever. All right, Wandering Emperor, I'm coming your way. I could emerge this, but having a Deep Fiend right now doesn't matter. I'll just take the maps. It's fine. Lovestruck Beast will explore. Mosswood Dread Knight. I'll keep that around and play another beast. Yeah, these beasts don't actually do anything until I find a 1/1, but they do emerge the Deep Fiend. Supreme Verdict, good find. Making a 2/2. Gonna cast my Dread Whispers, another Deep Fiend, and I'm gonna cast Lovestruck Beast and then map onto it. Their hand currently does not deal with this thing. Overgrown Tomb, hit my land drop, sweet. Okay, this has settled into refreshingly grindy. And step deduce. +1 counter on the Samurai, still tiny. Cracking a clue. Shakta and Hallowed Fountain with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other mana. That's a lot of mana. Speaking of a lot of mana, I'm now just casting Deep Fiends. We've reached that phase of the game. Oh, this is actually interesting. I was gonna just pass with Deep Fiend up, but I think I should cast the Mosswood Dread Knight, because if they play Portable Hole and I respawn by emerging it, that flushes out the hole. Ew. I shouldn't say that, but that is what happens. Yeah, here's the Dread Knight, and then I'll pass. And I'm not gonna upkeep the Deep Fiend. I'll probably main phase it on their main phase after they Portable Hole my Dread Knight. That's my plan anyway. Wow, they shocked in Hallowed Fountain and then didn't make a 1/1, didn't activate Gaia Reach, just didn't use that mana at all. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, that's a powerful magic card. Going into draw card mode. That Hallowed Fountain is tapped. I actually have to be careful with my timing here, because if I think I have to play this Deep Fiend in their main phase, even if they don't play the Portable Hole. Because if we get to their end step with Teferi trigger on the stack, they can float 3 in response to my tap triggers, then untap Castle Ardenvale and another land in the same thing and still make a 1/1 blocker and protect Teferi from the Deep Fiend. There's 2 unknowns in the hand. If one of them's a counterspell, this line doesn't work anyway. They've suddenly dramatically slowed their pace of play also. Like, I mean, this is all going to get edited out, but they went from 18.5 minutes to 15 minutes on their clock in the last half of a turn cycle. I don't know what that means. Probably they're just distracted on their end, whatever they're doing while they're trying to play this league. I don't think they're thinking that hard. But maybe they are. I don't know their life. Okay, they made a 2/2. That's good. That is before I would have tapped things. Now it's time to tap things. Merge this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a cast trigger. So I get the tap anyway, even if they fight over the 5/6 body. They did have no more lives. Okay. Tap their creatures. If I come up with a 1/1, I can kill Teferi here. There are several in the deck. All of the Foul Emissaries and Fierce Empaths meet the criteria. Dread Whispers, no love. Oh, I can bounce Portable Hole. All right. Figured it out. Bounce Portable Hole. That gives me a 1/1. And now attack Teferi. He's got to go. I'm not overcoming that. They have 2 Portable Holes and a Days Undoing in their hand currently. I'm going to play out my Dread Knight, and I'm still threatening a Brazen Borrower. Okay, glad I found that. Portable Hole's back. Gonna take the Dread Knight, and I'm not in the position to emerge it this time. But this is the Brazen Borrower they saw a million turns ago. They don't know I have another one. Okay, they attack me for 6, puts me to 3. I think I can still ignore this. Not for long. End step, cast the Adventured Brazen Borrower. Yavimaya Coast. I think I have to kill the Wandering Emperor here. I know that they're at 9, which is a multiple of 3, which Brazen Borrower can do stuff to. Another Emperor. Okay. This is going to gain them some life. Or no, they can just ignore this attack now because I'm attacking nothing. Oh, I think they should have ignored that. Interesting. Days Undoing and Unknown in the hand. They would need something like Tishana's Tidebinder to win this combat. Memory Deluge is really good. I'm still not going to fight over it. Days Undoing is their known card. Put a +1 counter on a Samurai. Played a Fresh to Fairy. Alright, if they get aggressive with this and tuck my Lovestruck Beast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have enough to do 2 things here. Okay, I'm going to let them go into combat. Deep Fiend. Going to tap the Deserted Beach and the Planeswalkers for fun. And then block the 4/4 and bounce the 3/3. Second Brazen Borrower, like I said when I drew it, that's going to get them, surprise them at some point. And it just did. I don't know if it's going to be enough to turn the game around, but I at least got a really good turn out of that. Now I have to decide, am I trying to clear Teferi or Emperor, or just go face here? Teferi is just so good. What is the quality of cards in their deck? Because Wandering Emperor can clear my Deep Fiend. I'm going to attack the Emperor because it's just the onboard answer to what I've got going on. And then I'm going to Heart's Desire and Lovestruck Beast. Still holding up Brazen Borrower. Not going to play this land. They've got Days Undoing, 2 unknowns in the hand. Teferi plus. They're deluging from the graveyard, which means they're not holding an answer already. However, they've shown me Supreme Verdict and Sunfall in the list. And they have 4 mana up. They've made their land drop, though. Teferi gets the untaps. I don't know if this deck is going to have Settle the Wreckage after seeing Sunfall and Supreme Verdict. I'm just going to hope it doesn't and send here. Oh, I get to know for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The trigger's the important part. I don't even mind if this gets countered. Okay, I would like to take Narset from your hand. Or is it 3 steps? Does it matter? They can copy Portable Hole. I think I have to take Narset, though. Okay, they didn't copy Portable Hole before combat. They can't afford to trade with my human. They have to block one of the 5s. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They still go to 2. And I'm still going to keep this Yavimaya Coast in hand in case opponent activates Gaia Reach. Plus Teferi. 6 cards in hand. They're looking for a sweeper. Somehow I'm behind on clock again. I don't think I'm playing that slow. Is this deck that click heavy? My opponent went AFK for like 4 minutes and I'm still behind on clock. It's very strange to me. How did this happen? They just have to loot with 3 steps. If they had copied Portable Hole with 3 steps before combat, then the Lovestruck Beast couldn't attack. And that's the same as them chump blocking it, except better because they don't take 1. Wowee, ground through that. Missed my land drop until turn 4. Didn't matter. Okay, they're a deck full of sweepers, which means I want to be kind of resilient wherever I can be. Thoughtseize is definitely coming in. Throwback can destroy Portable Holes. It's also just another creature, if that's what I want. Like these Fatal Pushes, they can kill creature lands and like Sunfall tokens, but those aren't good cards. Pick your poison, artifacts, and enchantments. Sheoldred's Edict answers Planeswalkers. I want that in for sure. I found a miracle moment where Legion's End was good, but I don't think that's going to happen very often. And I think this is what I'm going to do with the deck. Snapkeep. Especially now that I remember Lovestruck Beast does stuff for 1 mana. They started off Restless Anchorage, which is one of the cards that I wish I had some Fatal Pushes still in my deck for, but it's okay. I'll try to overcome it. Watery Grave. Red Whispers. Trying to find that 3rd land. All right. My equation got changed. See you later. They've got 3 mana up now. This is 3 steps ahead. This is all sorts of things. Did miss the land drop. And they deduced in the end step. Meticulous Archive. Sheoldred's Edict. I'm going to cast Lovestruck Beast now. Just get this thing on the stack. If they want to fight over it, let's fight over it now. Clue in response. Okay, cool. Their deck has so many sweepers, I'm not really trying to add Foul Emissary here. Lovestruck Beast has already done something. If they just have a counterspell or a sweeper, I'd rather follow up with the Emissary. Yeah, there's the sweeper. Land number 3 to cast Emissary would actually be huge right now. Easy game. Emissary on the stack. Let's reload. Grab another. I think I actually want Brazen Borrower rather than Lovestruck Beast. They do have permanents eventually that matter. Okay, if I draw a land here, we're doing Fiend stuff. All right, Fiend stuff, let's go. I'm not going to attack because that represents Wandering Emperor. I'll just pass into this. Shark Typhoon. Using my own weapons against me. How dare you? All right, I'm going to emerge my Fiend. Tap all their lands. I get a 3-2, even if they counter this. They did counter it. I guess I should have targeted the Shark instead of Field of Ruin. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't matter. It's damage I don't get to push, or damage they do push, when they were likely to cast a spell with their lands anyway. The lands keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Petty Theft Shark token. Just delete that forever. Push for 3. Hold up my various instants. I have Brazen Bar, Abrupt Decay, or Shoulder Edict I could cast. If Brazen Borrower comes in, I can emerge Mindbender off of it next turn. Regal Caracal. Yeah, this card's powerful. I think I just want to clear this thing. No, it doesn't matter. The Brazen Borrower is better. Get the discard while I can. And then Mindbender is bigger than these cats anyway. Deep Fiend, tempting, but no. Attack with Borrower, and then I'm going to distend their mind. Let's have a look. Cool, we're getting both. I would like 3 steps ahead and Farewell, probably. Once again, forgot to write down the rest of the card. It's weird that Magic Online doesn't show it to you. There's a Wandering Emperor over there, a Memory Deluge, a Rest in Peace that I don't really care about. That hurts their deluges more than it hurts any part of my deck, I think. It turns off Mosswood Dread Knight. Okay, Sheoldred's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. They have Mystical Dispute. I can pay for that. Now their shit is gone. Creatures attack. Oh right, Wandering Emperor. I'm such a donkey. I'm trying to play fast also. I'm just worried about this match going to time because my clock continues to bleed out here, despite my best efforts. I'm just going to play Dinosaur as Dinosaur with no additional abilities. Castle Vantress. They have Mystical Dispute and Memory Deluge in their hand. Attack Wandering Emperor with my 3/3. They can deluge straight into their Rest in Peace. You love to see it. Okay, that's answered. I don't really have spells to cast here. Float Black. They're using Field of Ruin. I could just fire off an Abrupt Decay since they gave me a boost of mana here, and Deep Fiend's the only thing I would cast this turn anyway. Okay, 3/3 beatdown begins now. Maybe. They got Kahira. Attack for 3. They found an Emperor. Bummer. All right, I will emerge my Fiend. Don't love doing this main phase, but it does replace my dead creature with a live creature in a spot where their counterspell is not ready. All right, here we go. Supreme Verdict. You got me. Kahira. That's dead. Ooh. Suddenly. That's a heater. There's Empath. Yes. Tutor. Do I want Tasigur or... Yeah, I want Tasigur. Oh, I tapped stupid. Bummer. Yeah, I could have played Tasigur this turn. But no, not if I'm going to Abrupt Decay 2. It's fine. I have Tasigur in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I'm going to Dread Whispers. I know they have the Dispute in hand. I'm just not going to give them any targets for that. Okay. You can certainly flush it out to make me pay mana, though. Or if you have 2 of them, sure. That was a 3-for-1. Done. These creature lands are extremely threatening here. I'll have a 3/3 on the ground, and then these creature lands can just double activate. Okay, they found a Narset, which found Jwari Disruption. 3/3 first strike. Not going to block. And they passed. All right, I'll distend your mind with 3 mana up. Mystical Dispute. Cool. The Jwari Disruption's still going to get me. And then I shove Tasigur at 6 life, and then die to these creature lands. Tough beats. Alright. I could have played the land first. I knew about the Jwari Disruption. Embarrassing. Okay. That was probably bad, and I'm probably going to time out if I don't win this game. Yep, here they come. Creature lands, real good. They can put me to 1 thanks to the Emperor. Okay, they realize this is a 2-turn clock even without tapping out. This is a much better attack than what I said. Ooh, they drew Taste Undoing also. Not a bad turn. Okay, I am dead here. I'm just going to make them use the couple seconds to attack me. Yep, multiple flying creatures coming in. And I'm dead. Okay. I don't think this match is going to reach a natural conclusion. One of us is going to time out. I'm not going to play like a maniac and just try not to time out, but I am going to be aware of it. Yeah, I could have just played out the land and had a 5/5 and play that turn. That sucked. I should have read that, though, when they didn't play Jwari Disruption as a land, despite it being turn 1 million. On the play, I'm not going to keep a 1-lander. Jesus, come on. There's 24 lands in this deck. 0-lander gone. Okay, finally a hand. Get rid of Deep Fiend and one of the Llanowar Wastes. Hate this. I'm under 5 minutes on my clock. Dread Whispers, while they can't counter it. The good news is I can F6 with my deck and they can't. Overgrown Tomb, Dread Knight, Heart's Desire. We're bringing the beats. Otherworldly Light on the Dread Knight. You got it. Overgrown Tomb, Lovestruck Beast, Combat. Just curving out into sweepers here, don't mind me. Shocked and Hallowed Fountain. That smells like Supreme Verdict or Wandering Emperor. Probably Emperor. I'm just going to attack with a human. And then I'll pass. I don't have to run into that. They ended up using their mana anyway, which is fine. Multiple Sanctum of Ugins in play this time. I don't have double blue for this Brazen Borrower. Shark Typhoon in the end step makes it 2/2. I am going to bounce this Shark. I wouldn't do this if there weren't time constraints, but there are. My goodness. All right, show me the Wandering Emperor. Time to attack. Yep. Gotta flush it out somewhere. My deck has 2 counter spells, and I didn't board them in because they don't counter anything important. All right, I'm gonna put 2 extra green into this thing. Exile target player's graveyard, and I gained 4 life. That took a miserable amount of time to resolve. They had the Sunfall, they plus the Wandering Emperor. Foul Emissary, let's go. Come on, big guy. Bring it home. Playing around all their soft counters. Okay, Distended Mindbenders in the hand. Any order. Looming Marsh. Pass. Wake up your 2/2. You can have it. Make another 2/2. 2/2 theme deck. Alright, I'm going to do the thing. I have 3 minutes on my clock. I'm not sure if the thing will be fast enough here. Teferi, if this tucks my Emissary, I'm not even doing the thing. I draw for turn. Forest. Distended Mindbender. Emerge it. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sanctum of Ugins trigger. Sanctum, Sanctum, Emissary. I'm going to do the discards first before anything else happens. Delusion response. That means they don't have any counter spells that can interact with any of this anymore. There's nothing for 1. I'd like to take your Narset and double No More Lies, 2 lands, rest in peace, sure. Yes, tutor Deep Fiend. Yes, tutor Deep Fiend. Really wish I had another blue to cast this Brazen Borrower. Out of 9 lands, just one of them's blue. That sucks. They drew another Teferi, and they're tempo Teferiing. They tucked my Mindbender and then just deleted that. Yeah, I don't think I can win this game. I needed this Brazen Borrower like 4 turns ago to keep these Planeswalkers under control, and now they have multiples running. Yep, 7 lands, 3 drop in exile where I can't use it. They're buffing their Samurai token. I am trying to bounce it. The clock is my only weapon now. Here come the creature lands. They're so good. Make a map onto the thing. Revealed a Sunfall. They did not bin the Sunfall. Reasonable decision. All right, Llanowar Elves, go get them. Yeah, I can't even emerge the Deep Fiend because of the double blue cost. Anchorage is awake again. Map to Mystical Dispute. Didn't want that one. Mindbender. I can cast that one. I can even tap Llanowar Elves and then cast this one. This is going to get No More Lied, but I'm at least casting it. I'll take Get Lost and Sunfall. Sweet grindy matchup here. We're going to lose it for sure. I think it's on the back of not having a second blue source here. Sick. They're playing fast too, just activating a tapped creature land. Love it. Yeah, these 2 Brazen Borrowers could have pressured the Wandering Emperor 100 turns ago if I had blue. I can't even emerge a Deep Fiend to buy time here. If I draw a land, I can cast Deep Fiends. But if they sequence their creature lands correctly, it doesn't matter. All right, deck. What do you got? Yeah, I knew it was going to be Watery Grave. Knew it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was weird. I genuinely didn't feel like I was playing slow, and still I was behind on clock the whole time, despite opponent going AFK. I'm going to reboot MTGO just in case there's some kind of invisible lag that I'm getting tagged with. I don't know. That just felt very strange. As far as the game, though, very cool grindy matchup. And I do believe that game 3 came down to just not finding my second blue source until turn 13. What do we got here? 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue sources in the deck. I don't know if that's low, just off the cuff here. I'm not sure if that's a low blue count. I'll have to think about that. Like, you don't actually need blue until you're emerging Deep Fiend or trying to cast the front side of Brazen Borrower. This is basically a Golgari deck. However, I did happen to end that game with all 4 of the cards I have access to costing double blue. Okay, worth noting. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
On the play for round 2, I'm going to keep this hand. It's got a nice little Fierce Empath curve out. I can't play the adventure mode on Dread Knight, but it's a perfectly fine 3/2 trample. I always enjoy the flavor of trample on relatively small creatures. Like, I get that this thing has 3 power. It's as attacks as hard as an elephant does in Magic lore, but thinking about trample in the terms of a human knight, is the sword just so long it goes through the creature into the defending player? I assume that's what's going on. Okay, Thoughtseize. We're not going to get to curve out beautifully, but Thoughtseize doesn't disrupt this part of the deck. I basically have 3 Deep Fiends in my hand and 2 ways to emerge them. Yeah, just take the Dread Knight anyway. Mess up my curve. Ooh, it got better. Foul Emissary is the nuts. But we are in that spot again. I need a blue source before I can even do this. Easy. Talk myself into it. Big Emissary. Okay. Screenshot. Somebody calculate this. Someone call Frank Karsten. What are the odds? I'll take a Lovestruck Beast, by the way. And I'll put these in the bottom on any order. Wild. This is why the Reddit truthers think that Magic Online doesn't shuffle. Got a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's going to have to tangle with a Elder Deep Fiend. I'm going to shotgun Breeding Pool. I think that will deal less damage to me over time than the Coast will. I am just doing this now, so anything they would draw off of the Fable won't help them here, and any instant speed interaction won't help them here. And I'm going to tutor another Deep Fiend, I guess. Let's keep the train going. This is 8 damage on board. They do a Fatal Push, sure. My 3/2, that was totally free. How sad. Build away Sorin and Fatal Push. They're big Rakdos Vamps. And they either don't have a Vein Ripper in hand, or they have 2 Sorins. I think I'm going to Fierce Empath and Llanowar Elf here, rather than Lovestruck Beast. I could grab Tasigur as the pivot, but I don't have any black mana. I'll just keep my Deep Fiend train fully running. They do get to flip Fable this turn. They will have 6 mana if they're just casting Vein Ripper. I'm not going to double block here. Safe attack. Arcfiend of the Dross, 6/6 that this dies eventually. And you die with it. Interesting. Okay. 6/6. Whenever a creature I control dies, I lose 2 life. That's a bummer. Remove an oil counter from it, then if it has no oils, you lose the game. So you lose the game 4 turns from now. And the reflection will kill me way before then. Okay, that's not a plan. Oh, this thing's so big. What do I even do? It's impossible. Can't be solved. I'm going to Fierce Empath again. And I'll just get the 4th Fiend. Because I can sack this Fiend to emerge for blue-blue. I do lose 2 life when I do that, thanks to the Archfiend. I lose 4 life if I let them copy it first, but I lose 6 life if I don't. Okay. Yeah, this thing's going to smoke me for sure. Merge the Deep Fiend itself. Tap, 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 tap. You can have your 2/2. I'll block it. Mana's being floated. Ah, they Fatal Pushed and missed. They don't have Revolt. They Fatal Pushed my Fierce Empath. Didn't work. which means I'm going to have something big enough to emerge next turn, and I might actually just win this game on damage. Interesting. Deep Fiend attack. They kind of have to block here, but they didn't. I'll take that. Alrighty, I'll pass the turn with the intent of tapping all their creatures and attacking for 12 or 11 on the following turn. Blood Tithe Harvester. That gets a blood token, okay. And if I let them attack me for 6, this ends up being the same no matter what. They get an extra mana. They block here. Should have emerged before blocks. Okay, tap, 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 tap. I go to 2 off of this situation, and then attack back for lethal. Fingers crossed. If they do something like copy Archfiend and then Fatal Push my Llanowar Elf, I end up dying exactly. Oh baby, Eldrazi tempo. That game got really weird, and I'm sure I didn't play it perfectly. Calling Ritual is, do I want this for a deck like this? I don't think so. Extinction Event seems good for beating up Vein Ripper. Pick your poison, kills a flying creature. Change the equation. Red or green things. They are a red deck. Culling Ritual's a maybe. I think these are all yeses. Throwback also kills Fable. Fatal Push, Legion's End. Abrupt Decay. These cards actually all just look good. Wretched Griff might be kind of slow and bad. I don't think I'm going to get all these cards in the deck. Tassiger might be slow and bad. I don't really care about bending their mind that much. I have played this deck before for Scumrunner, and Distended Mindbender just doesn't play in some matchups. I'll leave one into Tutor for if it's appropriate. Legion's End doesn't kill their big important things. If I'm bringing in 4 cards, what are they? Probably Extinction Event, Pick Your Poison. I'm just worried about Vein Ripper. I feel like this on even is really good against this deck. I don't think I want to have to line up a counterspell against them. I'd rather play to the board. Sheoldred's Edict or Frillback, who plays to the board better? Probably Edict. And then I just have to work my way through Fables. Is that how I want to do this? Do I have cuts for these Frillbacks? Abrupt Decay does kill the thing. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this. I like this hand well enough. It's got my colors, it's got elves. It's not that soft to Thoughtseize or Fatal Push. Yep, Fatal Push, that's fine. Fully prepared for that. Blood Crypt tapped. I think I just want to play Dread Knight as a creature. As it's a creature I don't mind dying. And if they kill it, I could double spell next turn with Llanowar Elves. Sorin. I'm ready with the Pick Your Poison. Sick. Okay, cool. Playing Dread Knight as a creature means I can kill Sorin here. Each opponent sacrifices a flying creature. I choose you, opponent. Not that I have to. Llanowar Elves get in and kill Sorin. Alright, that exchange worked out really well. I have Extinction Event for the next thing. And I'm ready to start foully emissarying. Thoughtseize right on time. It's going to take my emissary. These Mutavaults are good. Creature lands, once again, being relevant in a game of Magic. Imagine that. Lovestruck Beast lets me bash into them, though. Probably would have bashed into them with this thing anyway. Heart's Desire. 5/5. Yeah, we're doing it. I got 2 cards in hand. Harvester. That's even cost, and also smaller than my creatures I plan to attack with. I have 2 1/1, so they can't take me off Lovestruck Beast entirely, with 1 removal spell. In for 8. And they took it. Play Sanctum of Ugin and pass. The blood. Dumping Duress. So they did have an answer to Extinction Event, but they appropriately assessed that they're not winning on board. And now Harvester can't kill a 1/1 anyway. Ooh. I like that. In for 8. I don't think they can go to 1 here. Gonna start chumping with lands. Or double block. Yeah, that works too. I accept. And my plan is to Deep Fiend in their end step here. Because I want to see what they draw. I want to see what they play. If they put a creature out, I'll tap that. Or we just win. Sweet. Yeah, going way over the top. They even had their curve. If they had curved the Thoughtseize into the Sorin, that probably would have been better for them. But turn, like, removal spell into turn 3 Sorin Vein Ripper is the draw. But we had it. Nice. On to the next one. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play for round 3 with a sick little curve out. I'm going to keep this. This is a turn 3 Deep Fiend if I draw blue, and it's a turn 3 Retrogryph if I don't. Either one makes a 3-2. And if they see Llanowar Elf and knee-jerk kill it, then I just do it all a turn later, and it's fine. Llanowar Elf. Temple Garden. Temple Gardens usually don't kill Llanowar Elves. Another Elf. Emissary. I'll take Fierce Empath to keep the chain rolling, I think. It's probably better than Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I'm just going for big muscle here. Come on, Blue Source. Let's really do it. Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, so we're playing against a Malia combo. Kind of wish I had held on to that Brazen Borrower now. But I found the Blue Source, so we get to Time Walk and Bash. In the upkeep, Emerge. Even get to tap the treasure token. Just lock it right out. It's cool that that matters. And I have enough mana for Empath to get another Deep Fiend, and I can sack the first Deep Fiend to the second one all next turn. Just Time Walk them again. And I'll even have Sanctum at that point, so next turn I can actually get the next 2 Deep Fiends. Sanctum of Ugin, Fierce Empath, make sure to leave my blue up. Get another Deep Fiend, bash for 8, and then pass and do it again, and then do it again. And for the third Fiend, I can even keep the second one because I can emerge the Fierce Empath at that point. I'm going to tap their lands and their blocker. Leave the treasure up. Get another Deep Fiend. Yeah, I can't distend them anyway. I don't have double black. Blooming Marsh entering tap. Too brutal. Tap that stuff. They do have 2 mana here, and they have a bunch of cool 2 mana creatures and stuff. There's Amalia. And she's going to explore right away. Reveal Lunarch Veteran. That was placed in the graveyard. I can tack for 8 here. And I think having an extra Llanowar Elves in play is better than having tapped black. I get Shock and Breeding Pool and tap all their lands. Deep Fiend. The other creature in their combo costs 2, so I don't think they can get there from 1 mana. At least I hope not. I'm not super familiar with the Amalia combo. They have a 2 mana 1/3 that whenever you gain life, you explore. Or whenever you explore, you gain life. Yeah, that's how it. Whenever you explore, you gain life. And then Amalia is whenever you gain life, you explore. And they just like poop each other back and forth. Oh, are they going to Court of Calling and I lose? Shit. I was supposed to wait. Wait, but if they court, Amalia's tapped. They get the sweep, but they don't get the win. Oh, I should have held back this Llanowar Elf. What am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, they just have it. Or they have to explore once, right? Oh, this starts the chain. Shit, they had it all. No, I blew it. I forgot a Court of Calling was in this deck. If I just wait for combat, what happens? I could at least tap Amalia so I don't die. Yeah, this was my fault. Like I said, I'm not that familiar with the deck. And the way that this actually works is when her power is exactly 20, destroy all other creatures, and then she attacks for 20. This deck is very stupid because if you make the Wild Growth Walker indestructible somehow, or if you like target Amalia with a giant growth when her power is 18, then she never has power 20 and the game's a draw. Because none of this stuff is optional. Yeah, I could have waited for the trigger and then tapped Amalia. Whoops. Yep, GG. I blew it. I'm still behind that game, though. What am I actually supposed to do against this deck? Thoughtseize. Ashiok seems kind of relevant. Calling Ritual. Change the equation counters Amalia. She's a 2-drop. Children's Edict seems relevant. The Wrath. Alright, Retrogryph. You stink. If I just kept a Brazen Borrower, if I knew what the matchup was off that first Fierce Empath, I could have kept Brazen Borrower, or the first Foul Emissary. Yeah, that was there. Fatal Push Abrupt Decay. Maybe I'm not actually that bad against this deck. I just didn't know what they were on, and my hand rolled out in a way that didn't really mess it up that bad. I don't need to do all this. I like Thoughtseize. I do like Change the Equation. Edict, they have a lot of creatures. That might not actually hit what I want, but after the Wrath, it has to hit Amalia because she's the only creature. Just have 9 main deck answers to this already. I think I'm going to cut like a bunch of the big stuff and bring in some efficient answers to the thing, but I'm already actually pretty good against this if I know that's what I'm playing against. Okay, like this hand. This hand is not very good at playing its own game, but it is very good at stopping their game. Triple Pain Land also sucks. If I find a Emissary or Empath, I'm feeling great. Fatal Push, fine. Barely needed that anyway. Nice. Do I want to draw a card here? I think I'd rather just have a creature in play. I'm tempo gaming here. Handful of answers. 3-2 in play. This is Delver of Secrets. Thoughtseize finds 3 answers to Amalia. I actually think I could have identified their deck game 1 from the Temple Garden pass. If I was hyper dialed in, like the way that in Legacy, I'm just like, oh, they have a Black Lotus MTGO Avatar and a Polluted Delta. This is Doomsday. Someone who is really dialed in on Pioneer would have recognized there's not really that many Temple Garden decks. Maybe would have taken the Brazen Borrower. Cenote Scout. Put a Temple Garden in their hand. It's a 1-1. I like it better that way. It does make Sheoldred's Edict really bad, though. Drew another Pain Land. These things are rough. If you have to play a normal game, the Pain Lands add up so fast. Lunarch Veteran. That's a life gain dummy. Getting in for 1. Might as well. Shockton Temple Garden. And there's Amalia. Okay, I'm gonna Abrupt Decay her. I will not pay the ward, because my spell's uncounterable. Cool trick, right? No. Does Exploring still happen if the creature's not there? I guess it does. Jesus. Alright, well, they were gonna keep that there anyway. But yeah, if I just respond to the life gain trigger, then that wouldn't have happened at all. I'm learning the rules of Pioneer live in person. Isn't this fun? I think I have to stop attacking. I'm not winning the race with 4 Pain Lands in play. And they have a gain life creature. There's Amalia. It been to Fatal Push. Cenote Scout. This is going to explore 2 more times. And a Confluence in the hand. Another Amalia. How many of these do they play? 7? There are 14 cards in their deck with 3 of the card the deck's named after. They didn't want another one, though. Lovestruck Beast. Alright, I'll cast Heart's Desire. Just get myself a chump blocker. Have to leave up the Edict, though, so I don't die. Innkeeper. Now every creature they play explores twice. It's cool we're getting to see this deck fire. Nobody at my local level plays this, and despite winning 2 Pioneer RCQs this season, I've just never seen this deck actually play out. Collected Company. That's a powerful card. You're not sure if they want to attack with Lunarch Veteran, and then decided that they do. Yeah, that thing has Disturb. Just bringing it back from the graveyard makes it a 1-1 flying. It makes it evasive and gives you another Explore right now. But they already kept Collected Company on top. So this Explorer is just +1. It's not going to move cards around. And their last card in hand is Mana Confluence. This would be a great turn to draw a removal spell. Of course not. Nope. The 5th Pain Land. And I'm going to play Lovestruck Beast, though. I have a 5-5 in play. I still have Sheoldred's Edict up. I think getting this 5-5 into play versus this fair run out that they're on is better than trying to Deep Fiend. 2 cards in hand right now are Confluence and Company. There's the Confluence. Here comes the Company. Let's party. Selfless Savior. That makes a creature indestructible. They get 4 Explorers here. Or no, how many Explorers? 2 Explorers? 3 Explorers. 3. 2? I have no idea what's going on right now. Lunarch Veteran to the graveyard, Temple Garden to the hand. They got 3 Explorers and a treasure token. Final answer. I would actually feel kind of okay in this game if there was just 1 Overgrown Tomb and 1 Breeding Pool among all this other stuff that's going on. Among all my Pain Lands. Because I've only taken 1 from my opponent this game, but I'm at 13, and they're going wide with all these shitters. They've got Aven Interrupter. Attacking with everything, just shoving damage in at this point. I don't blame you. Block. Block. The Dread Knight triggers. The Phantoms trigger. All of those make Amalia bigger. Even Interrupter staying in the hand, or staying on top of the deck. The hand is 2 lands and they're drawing Interrupter next turn. Fierce Empath. I don't think you help right now. Maybe you do. Alright, I'll cast Dread Whispers and lose 2 life. I love an Abrupt Decay. That doesn't even help versus Selfless Savior. It doesn't matter. I'm so dead. Oh my god. All 6 pain lands, folks. Sign up. You saw it here first. And I'm playing Fierce Empath. It's a good chump blocker. I know they could counter my spell next turn anyway. Grab a Deep Fiend and probably lose. It's turn 7. I've cast at least 1 spell every turn. Taken somewhere between 7 and 10 damage from my own cards. Yeah, this was cool. We just saw the combo, and then we saw the beatdown side pivot where you just have a giant idiot. They can put me to 2 just by turning their creature sideways here. Here they come. Block the Selfless Savior, clear that out, and chump block Amalia. I go to 2. Thanks, mana base. Amalia explores twice from creatures dying thanks to the Luminous Phantom. Another Collected Company, sick. I believe I'm drawing completely dead here. Okay. No longer completely dead, but all I have to do is attack. I took too much damage from my lands here. This is a run bad. Like, I kept a hand with 3 pain lands in it, but out of the remaining 21 lands in my deck, I drew all 3 other pain lands. I think at like 6 or 7 life here, and I've taken 8 to 12 from my own cards. At 6 or 7 life here, I think I could stabilize. And Amalia has Ward 3. Yeah, Ward 3 life. Yeah. Super dead. And they were doing great anyway, but I kept a hand with a bunch of answers to Amalia and some pain lands, and then died to my own lands and the 3rd Amalia. Okay, that's the 2nd time the mana in this deck has been a problem. We're on the full boat of shock lands we're allowed to play. We've seen Blooming Marsh come up and be bad once already, because you do actually want mana number 4 frequently to play this game. That's the emerge number. Sanctum of Ugin is really good. I appreciate the restraint of not playing 4 of them, recognizing that the colorless mana is a problem. I wonder if these Shipwreck Marsh style lands and whatever the Golgari card is in that cycle could replace just like, or the blue-green one, could replace a few of these pain lands. Just take some pressure off. I think we need the basic because of Field of Ruin kind of effects, Settle the Wreckage kind of things. Yeah, that's been rough. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. On the draw for round 4 with a stable Simic hand. I'd like black mana to turn on Dread Whispers at some point, but I could play the game on just Simic for a while. Want to mold to 6. Alaged Recovery. So is this Lotus Field? Is that who does that? Yep, for sure. Okay. We are probably going to get smushed game 1 because we have no real interaction. And then we sideboard in a bunch of Damping Spheres and Ashioks for game 2 and 3 and hope it holds. Deep Fiend doesn't matter. I don't have double black for Mindbender, which is the thing that could buy me time. I'm just going to take Deep Fiend because it's big. Another Scrying. Getting Thespian Stage. I'm starting to unlock black here. Does this do anything? I can just add a bunch of power to the board. I'm just going to cast 2 Mosswood Dread Knights. I think all I could really hope to do is put them on a fast clock, hope they stumble, or hope that my Borrower or Fiend can somehow interact, which is pretty unlikely. Starting to do their thing here. Thespian Stage. Copy the field. Do they have an untap effect? Does it even matter if they don't? Not really. Okay, they pass the turn, which is what I meant by does it matter if they don't? Not really, because now I just attack them for 7 or 8 and hope I don't lose next turn. Okay, what I'm going to do is attack for 7, play Lovestruck Beast, and leave up Brazen Borrower. I don't think that even interacts with anything in their deck that would matter, but I'll at least put Lethal on board and make them do it this turn while leaving up my most efficient piece of interaction. Hidden Strings, off we go. Dark Petition. This works. And it is Con Queso, so they get 3 black. Emergent Ultimatum. Search a library for up to 3 monocolor cards with different names. Exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards. You shuffle that card into your library, and you can cast the other ones without paying their mana cost. Okay, so I want you to put Dark Petition back in your library. I can bounce Omniscience. I just don't know if that matters. All right, I actually put Pour Over the Pages back. Give them Dark Petition and Omniscience. The petition happens first. I have no way to create a priority object here. All right. Emergent Ultimatum. Yeah, this is happening. I can respond again in the middle of the ultimatum, so I don't have to bounce Omniscience yet. The problem with leaving them with Pour Over the Pages, I guess Dark Petition is whatever they want, but Pour Over the Pages just recast the Omniscience immediately. Fae of Wishes. Bala get Recovery, Pour. I don't want you to have Pour. Recovering the Dark Petition and casting Granted. I'd like to see what they're granting for. Road to the Second Sun. Right, now I'm going to Petty Theft Omniscience and hope that anything happens here, though I don't have high hopes. They do have to use all of their available mana. Okay, Archdruid's Charm. Search a library for a creature or land, reveal it, put it on the battlefield tapped if it's a land. A Leer. That costs 5. There's a Dark Petition in their hand, but they've used their land drop. If they have an untap effect, they can go. But I know 3 of the cards in their hand. Or I know 4 of the cards in their hand, plus the Omniscience. So one of the 2 unknowns has to be an untapper, and then they just win easily. If they can filter this mana into blue, I think they're there. Ooh, Otawara bouncing my beast. That's probably good enough, but it's not a win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leer just makes... Yeah, alright. 3, 6, 7, 8. Couldn't hit them for quite enough at the end of the line here. I think it's just Yavimaya Coast and pass. Maybe this Deep Fiend can do something. Dark Petition works. Hidden Strings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. And here's Leer, who was printed not in 1993, so I can't tap him to turn him off. Omniscience only casts cards for free from your hand, though, which means that Leer doesn't get to flashback the whole graveyard just for freezies. This should not be hard for them to win, though. Dark Petition. Pour Over the Pages. Here we go. Here's the first approach. Now they just cast the Dark Petition from their graveyard. Or they untap these first. That gets them closer. Another Pour. Their top card right now is the thing. This cycle gets it done exactly. Cool. All right. Fun. We bought a turn I wasn't expecting to get. I was quite sure we were losing that game 1, but I actually did make a game out of it, kind of. All right, my Thoughtseize, my Counter Spells, my Damping Spheres, my Ashiok, these are all coming in. You can't stop me. They tend to bring in things like Dragonlord Ojutai, Dramoka, just big stupid assholes to pivot. And I don't want to be caught completely shields down to that. Legion's End Fatal Push can go, though. Abrupt Decay, forget about it. Brazen Bar is actually fine versus all of these creature pivots they might demonstrate. Wretched Gryph is bad. No way there's going to be time for Tasigur. And one more cut here. Lovestruck Beach does hit like a truck. Dread Knight, we're not really here to grind. I think I can cut a Dread Knight. Just wall of sideboard interaction now. Let's go. Okay, I will keep this hand with a bunch of sideboard cards and an Empath in it. I'm on the play where Change the Equation actually can counter a Sylvan Tutor. What is that card called? Sylvan Scrying. Got there. I can sequence all these weird lands with all their weird conditions to get them all into play pain-free. I have one that costs 2 life, one that's tapped if it's your first 2 lands, and one that's tapped if it's after your 3rd land. It does work. A Temple Scribe to the top. Pass the turn. Not today. Counter target spell. Oh, I can even do the green version. Unnecessary. But I want to let him know. Never had a chance. Shipwreck Marsh, Ashiok. Hope Ashiok can hold the fort for a minute. Thespian Stage. Ooh, a Deep Fiend. Okay, I can empath for the Mindbender. Distended Mindbender is the one. And I don't think I need to be activating Ashiok for any reason. Just leave them in play on high loyalty. Doing it once, maybe to clear the Sylvan Scrying out, because they do have Balagad Recovery and Spell Mastery cards. So yeah, I think I should have done it once and then just left it at 4. I guess I don't care about Dark Petition that much with Ashiok in play, though. All right, I'm going to attack for 1 and then distend their mind. And again, the trigger happens no matter what. So even if they have a counter spell, I get to take a look here. Archdruid's Charm and Balagad Recovery. Okay, so they did have that. This is all search related, right? This answers... Yeah, I'm going to take Archdruid's Charm, and I think it's got to be Chandra. Ultimatum doesn't work with Ashiok in play. Or they could start casting next turn. Yeah, Chandra can just solo the game, though. Yeah, alright, I'll take those 2. And I am going to hit them with Ashiok because they showed me that they have a regrowth in hand. Took a second recovery, Mystical Dispute, Impulse, and Vizier with it. They can pour over pages this turn. I've got a 5/5 in play now. That's pretty big. Ooh. A Foul Emissary. I enjoy playing with this card. Emissary, Tutors, and Empath. That can get me another Mindbender in the future. I don't think they're dealing 3 to Ashiok, so I'm just going to hit their graveyard again, keep that empty. I could tap all their stuff this turn, so I think I will. Just tap all the colored lands. Lair of the Hydra. Uh-oh. Sometimes you just rip another Fiend immediately, though. Empath, get another Mindbender. Yeah, scoop into the Eldrazi chain. Cool. All right, on the board. I like how that went. Just stick something disruptive and then pressure them, and that's how we do this. Can't just let them goldfish like we did game 1. I don't think my plan changes here. These are my cards. Actually, I'm going to flip Deep Fiend for Tasigur, because I could see this getting to a spot where Tasigur works, or if I want to empath and immediately add to the board, where Deep Fiend, if they have things worth tapping and they're not already winning, what game we're even playing? This hand is insane with 2 mana. Gonna mull it, though. Alright, this hand is insane, as is. I don't think this hand needs a Llanowar Elf in it. Just keep the more stable mana. Arboreal Grazer. Drew Blooming Marsh. Breeding Pool tapped. And they did commit the Lotus Field. They didn't see Damping Sphere. How's this for the old Triple Stone Rain? Bang. A Lotus Field taps for 1 colorless mana now, and they sack 2 lands to get that permanent in. Their deck plays Boseiju and stuff, so I'm going to add another sphere to the board. Another one. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass. These also do stack on top of each other. Like, the second spell you cast costs 2 extra instead of 1 extra. The third spell costs 4 extra, etc. I'm going to play Unlicensed Hearse and leave up Sheoldred's Edict. They're copying Botanical Sanctum with Thespian Stage. Color fixing. They do keep hitting land drops. Unfortunate for our hero. Change the equation. I like having that around. I'm going to play Llanowar Elf. Halfway to crewing this Hearse. Arboreal Grazer, as always, massive blocker. Matters a lot here. They're copying a Lotus Field. That means they have plans to break out of here. Or that they're set on colored mana, and they might as well put that in the bank for later. Should I Edict this Grazer? I think I'm going to, just because as long as the Grazer's in play, I can't Edict anything else. And this lets me push damage. Mindbender, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 short on bending anyone's mind. Attack with Llanowar Elves. Okay, we're in kind of a squeeze here. My next land starts casting cool spells. Cycling Vizier. Another Vizier. Alright, we're digging. Sylvan Scrying. That is 1 spell for the turn. This can tutor something like Boseiju. or Otawara. Yeah, if they set up Beseiju plus Otawara, unlock the whole squad, that is a way out of this. I would really like to distend their mind before that happens, because they need to do all that, and that's 2 cards out of their hand. And then they also need to win after they do all that. Lovestruck Beast. I'm just going to cast Lovestruck Beast. Leave up, change the equation. Because of my spheres, I can't do 2 things here. I could attack with Hearse. Something's happening in response. Wow, actual counter fight over this. Sure. That's a card out of their hand. I'll take it. End step. They just didn't do anything on their whole turn. End step. Hearse keeps the graveyard empty. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have exactly enough to distend their mind here. I think this is worth tapping out for. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cancel. I need that. Float. That can't do this. All right. They just used a counter spell. Hidden Strings and Chandra. And this is exactly what I described. Their hand is Beseiju plus Otawara. Exactly what I said. Their hand can't have double removal and win. They had the double removal. They had a good card. And I'm choosing not to attack with my Hearse because I might need it to survive the turn. There's the Beseiju. Saving the Otawara, because that doesn't matter until they're ready to go. If they go too soon, I just replay this and they wasted Otawara. Okay, they did nothing with their turn. Exile Chandra and Strings. And now the beats will happen. In for 5. 1 mana short of casting Fiend Impulse. I think I should counter this. There's no guarantees that Impulse can counter what they find. So let's stop the digging in the first place. Hearse keeps their graveyard empty. Lovestruck Beast. That's actually really good. That crews the Hearse. Heart's Desire costs 1. Lovestruck Beast will cost 4. I should leave up double blue because I can sacrifice the Mindbender to Deep Fiend if I need to. Through the car. Zoom, zoom. If I can make them use Otawara just to stay alive and keep the Damping Sphere in play, that's so good for me. Attack for lethal. 2 cards in hand. One of them's Otawara, so I know they're not going to die here, but if I could flush this out, it's great. Okay, cool. Bounce my Hearse. Otawara is clear. They're still dead on board. I can't replay Hearse because it costs 4. And we did it. The sideboard cards carried. On to the final round. I'm on the play in the final round versus a Gigantha strategy. I'm going to keep this. I suspect this is probably something hyper-aggressive, like some slick shot show-off deck. My hand's pretty good against that sort of thing. Just have giant creatures and a removal spell. Underground Mortuary. Okay, maybe it's not that. And they kept the card. Okay, I'm going to play my Watery Grave and my Foul Emissary. Emissary found Deep Fiend or Brazen Borrower. Yeah, Deep Fiend. Just curving out against some fair deck is basically what we want out of this entire experience we're doing. And this gives me the opportunity to do that. Stitcher Supplier. Ooh. I don't actually know what this is. Deathrite Gem and Blooming Marsh Soul Cauldron. Forsaken Miner. Can't block. Whenever you commit a crime, you may pay 1. If you do, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. This looks like Hogak, but I am pretty sure those cards aren't legal in this format. So I don't know what's going on. It is exciting, though. I could Lovestruck Beast this turn and set up the Deep Fiend for down the road. Just get a bigger attack when it's time to do that. Or I could just Deep Fiend on curve, like we drew it up. I'm going to do that. Emerge my Emissary. Tap all of your permanents. And put 8 power into play. Let's go. Zoom, zoom. We got a turn 3 Deep Fiend. I'll count it. Forsaken Miner can't block, which is good, because I'm going to attack. In with the big squad. Sanctum of Ugin. Heart's Desire. Lovestruck Beast. I'm not going to block with Llanowar Elves, so I'll just save myself a life point here. I would have liked to play Lovestruck Beast plus Mosswood Dread Knight just as 3-2 mode here and bash this game over, but that leaves me with 1 Llanowar Elves and no human to Lovestruck Beast with, and that seems exploitable to something like Fatal Push, where I otherwise don't need to be. Insidious Roots. Okay, the game plan's coming together. Their deck looks awesome, by the way. Ooh, that's a powerful card. Okay, I'm going to attack with everything that can attack and is bigger than a Deathrite Shaman. And I can decay this Insidious Root, so I'm not worried about anything really happening here. Stitcher Supplier, mills 3 cards that don't matter. And I think I just want to play both halves of Dread Knight and leave up Abrupt Decay. Drew another Dread Knight. Okay, lots of damage on the board, and I can kill Insidious Roots if I need to. This is whenever one or more creatures leave your graveyard. Tivar. Does this go infinite? Mill 3 cards, return a creature with mana value 2 or less. Alright, so I'm gonna kill the roots, because this looks like it might, if not infinite, go extremely deep somehow. I should have responded to Tivar's -2. Now they know they don't have a roots. You can't respond once Tivar's activating. Like, I couldn't respond now when we know it's in the graveyard, but I could have made them commit to the activation. Satyr Wayfinder. See more of this deck. Another Tivar script, Heap Scrounger. They kept Underground Mortuary. Getting a mana off of Exiling Swamp with Deathrite. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Okay, this can activate here. Wait, is this an infinite loop? Oh, is this so cool? Yeah, you get... Wow, I'm so excited right now. Yeah, you sacrifice these 2 things. Oh, but the triggers didn't work. Oh, okay, it's just a timing thing. Wow, that was so cool. Alright, I'm going to sacrifice this human token. Because if you have... How could this work? What has to happen? Because if you sack these, the You May Pay Black is going to resolve first. But that's almost an infinite loop. Interesting. Okay. Got to pay attention with that Fatal Push. That felt like it could have been bad. Right, Ashiok, Unlicensed Hearse coming in. Frillbacks come in. I could consider Pick My Poison. I don't think I need Griff or both Mindbenders here. Legion Dens looked really good. Fatal Push looks really good. Abrupt Decay. I could shave a Dread Knight. This doesn't seem super grindy. Yeah, I'm actually just going to cut 3 Dread Knights, and I'm just bringing in 3 high impact cards for the matchup. I don't think this is about like drawing cards and trading creatures. This is about stopping whatever it is they're doing. I'm trying to wrap my head around their deck while also maintaining the stream and playing. So maybe this is not as confusing as I think it is. But whenever you commit a crime trigger will always happen before the priest resolves. So sacking 2 of those things to priest doesn't create an infinite loop. If you have a bunch of creatures and mana around, you can just do it a few times per turn. I'm trying to figure out if this deck actually can go infinite. I'm keeping this in with Cyber card, Reasonable Interaction, and all my colors. Thoughtseize, alright. Goodbye, one of these cards. I hate this treatment so much. Just don't even know what that is. This big coin treatment. No thanks. Mortuary to follow up. Kept their card. Ooh. Rumblebelt Maverick. Enters the battlefield, surveil 2. Exile this from your graveyard, put a +1 counter on target creature as a sorcery. Cool. And they milled a second Maverick. They're going off. I drew something to do with my mana, though. Heart's Desire. A 5/5 seems good against their deck. Mortuary. Got rid of a Deathrite Shaman. Satyr Wayfinder. Big graveyard energy. They kept an Overgrown Tomb. I will not be blocking here. Forsaken Miner. Yeah, that's the crime one that comes back. Yeah, I think I would rather save some life points here. Are you ready for a 5/5? Because I have one. Here it is. And next turn I can exile their graveyard. Overgrown Tomb zapped in. Stitcher Supplier. 3 lands. If they could commit a crime right now, they can at least get the Miner back. Tivar. Okay, here we go. Nothing good in there. Just Deathrite Shaman. Okay, Abrupt Decay is of my interest. I think I want to start by just attacking Tivar. Let's remove some material from the board. They probably just block with Wayfinder or Maverick. Supplier's fine with me. I know I have the graveyard hate, but you know that too. Yeah, that worked out well. Overgrown Tomb, exile your graveyard. And when you cast this, you can pay G any number of times, or up to 3 times, and then it gains 4 life, exiles their graveyard, or destroys an artifact or enchantment. I'm going to exile your graveyard. Not bad on a 3/3. Though their graveyard wasn't that good. it had a bunch of food for Deathrite Shaman, and then it had the Forsaken Miner. Priest of Forgotten Gods is in there now, which means Tivar can get that back next turn. But I have Abrupt Decay, and now I know I need to leave that up, just in case. Right, they ate my Abrupt Decay and then untapped Deathrite with Tivar. Makes sense. Soul Cauldron. Uh-oh. Okay. This means the whole squad, or at least a member of the squad, can get Priest of Forgotten Gods abilities. This deck is awesome. I'm having fun. If they pass into this Abrupt Decay, I don't care about Cauldron anymore. Okay, they're doing it now. That's smart. Who are they bequeathing these abilities to? Wayfinder. Makes sense. My human token kind of rules, though. What does this actually do? Each opponent loses 2 life, sacrifice a creature, you get mana and draw a card. Alright. I'm going to play out a backup 1/1 to make sure Lovestruck Beast can attack this turn. Because if they edict me at the start of combat, it would be the human that goes. Why did I think this made a 6/6? I'm thinking of some other card, obviously. Alright, attacking Tivar with my creatures. They are chumping, as would be expected. And using the ability, I will sacrifice human token, as promised. They're going to exile Thoughtseize to drain me. I think I can wait, because they have to sacrifice 2 other creatures. They currently have 0 in play. There's nothing happening out of the graveyard. If they activate Tivar, I can kill Soul Cauldron in response. If they cast a creature, I could kill Soul Cauldron or Wayfinder in response. There's nothing in the graveyard with an ability I care if they gain. Basic Swamp, 2 cards in hand. Jeggy still in the command zone. Okay, so they're activating Tivar now. I'm going to decay Soul Cauldron before they can have a 3rd creature in play. Because Tivar can at least get back... Is this from among the rune cards? No, it's any. So yeah. Tivar can get back Supplier, which immediately gives them something really good to sacrifice and more food for Cauldron. I think this is the time to do this. I might get smoked if they have another Cauldron or another Tivar in hand, but can't play around that. Found a Wayfinder. They got Takenuma off of it. Takenuma's really good next turn. Oh, they scooped it. All right. Yeah, I think they realized they weren't going to get another turn. Okay, a positive record with Sultai Emerge. Most of my critiques emerged during the games. The mana somehow feels bad, even though it looks really good. And I guess, like, we're balancing for raw color sources, which, if we're doing that, we're looking at Sanctum of Ugin and the Forest. Maybe 1 Sanctum goes for 1 more Shipwreck Marsh style land. The Pain lands, if you happen to draw all 6 of them, can cost you a game. Maybe 1 of each could be their appropriate Shipwreck Marsh land. I also think Wretched Griff is just so mid, basically all the time, that I'd rather have a normal kind of Pioneer card, like another Abrupt Decay or a Fatal Push or something. A main deck Thoughtseize, perhaps. Just something else in that spot. I also am not totally convinced on the second Mindbender. Deep Fiend is the reason for the season. I could see playing 5 Eldrazi instead of 7 and just having 2 more slots for normal interactive Magic cards. You could even sideboard the Mindbender. Like switch Tranquil Frillback or Thoughtseize or Sheoldred's Edict from the sideboard out and put Mindbender there for the matchups where that is important, like combo and control. And I think we could just live without Wretched Griff entirely. Those are my thoughts. This deck rules. Scumrunner, thank you for sharing it with us again. I'm so glad you're still working on this deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.